Mike, just the short version. Billy being asked, where were you, Billy, on your honeymoon? This is a simple question. It gets a simple response in most circumstances, unless you're talking to Billy.
So in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right, or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over, and it's at the end. Well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's a different story.
All right, Billy, we've established where you are and what it's called, kind of. Now, proceed.
All right, so this is how it works. Crop Over is like a couple months long, and Kadooment is like the grand finale, and it's like a carnival type thing. So to participate in this, you have to sign up with what are called bands, and they have a bunch of different bands that you sign up for. So we found a band, and then I get my costume. You have to pay to get costumes. So I'm going through the streets, and I'm shirtless, and I'm in pink shorts. And a cowboy hat and all this fake jewelry that they have on that it's like massive, like this pendant around my chest and like these arm cuffs. So I'm like going through the streets dressed not in all a way that I'd ever be comfortable doing it. And I was sunburned, obviously. There was lots of
the jewelry? From the jewelry?
Oh, if I could show you the burn that
Please
I had.
Please do. Please do. Like,
oh, wow. I had a giant circle here.
Live from ESPN Studios in South Beach. It's the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I have some sound from Jurgen Klopp I want to get to. That is not the sentence that I thought was going to start our Wednesday. We will get to that sound in a second. Jurgen Klopp, a football manager. I don't know who he is, but I liked something that he said, and so we will get to it in just a moment. And I also want to get into just how funny it is. The name of Tommy Tuberville, right down to the story of Tommy Tuberville, right down to him yelling at a fan, which is the only sound I remember from our show experience with Tommy Tuberville, who may indeed parlay the Auburn coach job that was done better by the people who came after him into huge political power in Alabama. But before we get to that, I want to understand Stugotz a little better because he is a perpetual curiosity to me, and I want to understand in the room. You guys explain this to me. Shipping container. Explain to me why yesterday, when all of the Spike Lee stuff was happening with the New York Knicks, one of the single dumbest stories of my sports lifetime, all of it. It's basically a celebrity who wants the elevator access, and it turns into just a wonderful tribute to all the Knicks incompetence, including a statement that Billy wishes was the statement every damn team was making every time they made a statement.
I absolutely loved the statement because it was like a he said, and I've never seen a team statement like via Twitter with like attached images to make a point.
Of him shaking Dolan's hand when he had denied it, calling his claims laughable.
Him shaking his hand, saying it's laughable, which may have been intentional because they put out there that Dolan and him laughed, and then Spike Lee said, we were not laughing, and then in the press release it says it was laughable, which is like, is this an extra shot that's there? Then they take a picture of the entrance that he's fighting to use, which says it's for handicapped people and employees to make Spike look worse. It was just... it was beautiful.
It was chef's kiss. It was the whole thing. The whole thing was beautiful from a number of different perspectives, okay? Because this is basically an old celebrity's grievance that we allowed him on our air to inflame. And the moment he comes on our air on ESPN, then these are the only statements the Knicks are making the last month that anyone cares about. Because the last time First Take right now at this point is trafficking in Knicks laughter better than anybody is by just taking the guy in the middle of whatever and then parlaying it into this mushroom cloud of stupid.
First Take is directly responsible for the last two Knicks press releases.
Yep.
That's correct.
They are.
Now, what I want to ask the group, though, the shipping container, this is the part I don't understand.
Where you're going,
yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course you know where I'm going because it's maddening to me.
Yeah.
You're a Knicks fan.
Yep.
All of this is happening on the air yesterday for hours, and we're talking about it. Mm-hmm. And today you come in with Spike Lee, stay away from the team. We don't want you.
Yep.
Today, Today you do that. Like, what happened between yesterday and today that on your team you didn't have any strong opinions, and then you come in here today and you say, Spike Lee, get out of my life?
I mean, think about what Spike Lee is complaining about. He is complaining about access. He is complaining about running amok throughout Madison
I don't
Square
want
Garden.
your take right now. I want to understand better why you didn't give it yesterday.
Well, I mean, the story was fresh, and sometimes I like to let these things marinate.
Since when?
What do you mean?
Like, you don't let things marinate. You're first to the hot take.
I don't think we spent nearly as much time talking about it as you think we spent talking
You
about
certainly
it
had your
yesterday.
chances to say what this thought was that you didn't have until after you left the area yesterday.
That's a fair point.
Let me defend you, Stugotz, because you're going to talk yourself into a hole.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
You already were.
Right.
You were on the air. You were learning about the story as it was happening. You didn't have all the information. Once you left the show and properly prepared for the next day's show, you got to digest
the sound of Spike Lee sounding ridiculous on First Take.
He was still gathering information. He needed the Knicks press release to hear both sides. He was being responsible.
I like to let things marinate. I'm a slow cooker, Dan, and I am changing my game as I get older here, and I am taking my time to kind of, let my thoughts marinate before I blast someone.
Guillermo,
okay?
put it on the poll. When it comes to hot takes, is Stugotz a slow cooker?
And when you put it that way,
Oh, you don't love a slow cooker meal? Yeah.
everything starts tasting the same.
right?
It's like a crock pot. Everything starts tasting the
You
same.
got to be patient. I mean,
Set it and forget it.
That's right,
Yep.
Billy.
Really?
Any theories from you guys? Can I get some more theories from the room on how it is that Stugotz doesn't have the half-baked, slow-cooked take until 24 hours after everyone else?
Well, because he didn't know the story yesterday, obviously.
But we played the story.
Yeah,
keep
but the
saying that like
statement
he's
did,
listening.
exactly.
No
and
retention.
the statement didn't come out until well after we were off the air.
Plus,
I
he
mean,
likes to get a lay of the land, see where everyone's at with their takes, and he doesn't see a lot of people in this area coming after Spike. So he's like, you know what? I got to take that lane.
Stugotz isn't in this business to be first. He's in this business to be right, Dan. And that's the
Exactly.
difference between modern-day journalism and the way Stugotz is doing things, and old-school journalists like Stugotz. Stugotz isn't here for your clicks. Stugotz doesn't want to be the first one to every story. He wants to make sure he has all the facts before he starts levying judgment. And that's what he did yesterday, like all good journalists do. Congratulations, Stugotz.
Good
You're
job,
journalist
Stugotz.
of the
You
day
are
yesterday.
Thank
the
you.
man.
Yes. Thank you.
Good job.
Responsible.
Jolly good fellow.
Yeah, figured we need one of those around here. I mean,
Right, yeah.
Jolly good fella.
Might as well be you, yeah.
now that Bob Lee's gone, I mean,
You're next.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Yep. Plus, Dan, I like to see where everyone else is going. Billy is right about this. I like to see where everyone else is
You
going.
just said that, yeah.
Yeah, because I want to be different, and I want to go.
That was Chris who said that.
I want to go to
actually.
places where people aren't going, and no
That's
one's
the
going
opposite.
after Spike Lee, and they should be going after
You
Spike
should let
Lee.
us do
Right,
this
I mean,
for you.
come on. What are you doing?
Chris, perhaps when you say things, you should identify yourself more often so that Stugotz knows that it's you speaking when you have these thoughts.
I'm Chris Cody, ESPN.
Just every time you have something to say, just follow it with that for the remainder of the show. Okay? I would like for the entire remainder of the show for you, every time you speak, to end your thoughts with "I'm Chris Cody, ESPN." We agreed that Sal Palantonio and Jeremy Schaap are the best ever at that, right?
Rachel Nichols.
Rachel Nichols.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, put it on the poll, Guillermo. I guess we don't agree.
Chris
At
Cody,
Lebatard
ESPN.
Show, who says their name and ESPN the best? Jeremy Schaap, Rachel Nichols, and Sal Palantonio.
Also, can we bring that back? Can we get that? Let's just keep doing that. I'm Chris Cody, ESPN.
Yeah, I would have liked it before,
Right, yeah.
but that's fine. You just
I'm
do
just
it on
trying
your
to
own
remember.
time.
Now I remember. I'm Chris Cody, ESPN.
Okay, every time. Let's get to this Jurgen Klopp sound next because we're not going to do this now, but we've got to talk about Jurgen Klopp. If that's not a radio tease that will keep everyone in their car, listen to me. Listen to me, people driving around right now, listening on the radio. If you're not listening by podcast, you are going to want to hear this sound from Jurgen Klopp coming up next.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Pick from a range of coverage options with the Name Your Price tool to find a price that works for you. Here's your SportsCenter update. The Brewers, the Brew Crew, and Christian Yelich are negotiating a contract extension that's expected to run 9 years and worth about $215 million. Karis LeVert scored 51 points, including 37 points in the fourth quarter and overtime in the Nets win versus the Celtics. Incredible. Here's the SelectQuote difference. Most companies give you one option, one policy, one rate, but SelectQuote shops and could get you up to 10 options from highly rated life insurance companies for a free personalized quote. Call 800-780-1010 or go to SelectQuote.com today. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
More than Stu from the Clevelander on ESPN Radio.
At 3:16 p.m. yesterday, Billy texted me, "You have a quarterback." It was 16-0 Jets. From that moment on, the Bills reeled off 17 consecutive points and won the game. Thanks, Bill. I now call them the Buffalo Billies. A bad joke. But I was lashing out in all directions yesterday, and you, at 3:16, you never text me on a Sunday. And it's never that efficient when you do. You have a quarterback. He did nothing. Nothing. 17 unanswered points. 0-1. Buffalo Billies. Download the Vivid Seats app and enter promo code ESPN25 at checkout to get 10% off your next order. Don't buy just any seat. Get a Vivid seat. The blacktux.com is the easiest way to look fresh for your wedding or special event. To get 10% off your suit or tuxedo, visit theblacktux.com and enter code Dan.
So Billy has been giggling to himself back there. He just continues to read the Knicks press release over and over. I guess we should probably read it to the audience.
I think I'm going to make it my wallpaper.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Can you guys explain to me, over the last few years of irrelevance for the New York Knicks, like, what is the funniest thing of clown behavior that they have participated in? Because they're alienating the people with the most allegiance to them. It's not just Spike Lee. They did it to Charles Oakley, too. Like, you're basically going after some of your favorite people.
Spike Lee dedicated $10 million over his 30 years as a Knicks fan. $10 million.
He says that.
According to him.
He's
also
that.
been proven already to be a liar.
Other people have said it's $2 million.
I mean, how much has Marlins man spent? You know what I mean? It's not exactly welcome there.
So can you read to us just, this is what, again, and I am only here for this story, only here to laugh at the Knicks. I don't want any serious commentary about this. I don't want First Take to do journalism around it. This is a celebrity who wanted his secret access his longtime fan kept, and he went on First Take to argue for it, and the Knicks nuked him. Nuked him.
The important thing with this, just so you guys are aware before I read it, is you need to read it with the right tone. Right. Because if you just kind of read it like straightforward, not the same effect. All right, so here we go.
All right, so this is you in character. This is you, Daniel Day-Lewis.
That was the shift, right?
Yeah.
That was the shift? Okay, good.
Just let me, part of my process. Statement from the New York Knicks. The idea that Spike Lee is a victim because we have repeatedly asked him to not use our employee entrance and instead use a dedicated VIP entrance, which is used by every other celebrity who enters the Garden, is laughable. It's disappointing that Spike would create this false controversy to perpetrate drama. He is welcome to come to the Garden anytime via the VIP or general entrance, just not through our employee entrance, which is what he and Jim agreed on to last night when they shook hands. Scene.
Thank you, Billy.
Nailed it, man.
Bravo.
One take wonder.
Bravo.
If we want to keep laughing at the Knicks, I have their all-decade team here. I'm Chris Cody, ESPN.
Please share.
All right, well, hold on a second. I want to think about this for a second. So if I were to give you a resume of laughable items, because the Knicks have been the greatest show in comedy here for 20 years. Not sports, comedy. Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Are the Knicks the greatest show in comedy in 20 years, better than Chappelle? So, of their controversies, like, it's pretty hard to have any one of these, Stugotz.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. Did Did Charles Oakley leave the arena in handcuffs, or did it just seem like he was being bullied by police? I don't remember.
Yeah, Spike Lee said he was led away in handcuffs. I don't think that's accurate.
Not Spike Lee. I'm talking about Charles Oakley.
No, Spike Lee